Hey guys, 30 seconds of pre-show. Trying to get where I can hold this guitar where you can see it and play it. Pretty hard in my rig setup. Hey Canute, how are you, buddy? This, my friends, is the best looking 71-year-old guitar you'll ever see. This is truly the closet classic, the attic guitar. I'm good, Canute, thank you. So I'm just going to strum around on it for a little bit. It's 71 years old. It has 71-year-old tuners on it, even though they've been barely used. And they're kind of like old Gibson tuners, are a little bit, but I think they were a little bit when it was brand new. I had a 1963 Junior, and I bought my dad got it for me in 1978, so it wasn't that old. And hey Hoss, how are you, buddy? And the tuners were just trash. I put some showers on it right away. This guitar you would not buy to functionally sit around and play. You would buy this guitar as an investment. Hard Rockin' Steel, what's up, man? We'll let some people gather here before we get into it, but let me just give you some looks at it. It's 71 years old, and I swear to God, I've seen more beat-up reissues hanging on the wall at Guitar Center. There's one little ding on the back of the headstock right there, a little tiny ding up there, see it at the very top? That's it. Everything else, it's all original. Nothing's been changed. It was literally sitting in a case for decades. I'll tell you the whole story as far as I know it. And the pickups sound great. That's the bridge pickup. I got a middle position. You get that good Gibson. Roll the neck pickup back a little bit, and you get Chuck Berry. That kind of thing. And then on the neck position, you've got, good old Gibson. Funny, when I play on camera, I get a little slow. So this has the matching amp that was sold with it. It's a Les Paul amp. 1955, a little 112 combo, 110 combo. I don't have it here with me, but I can get it. Has the original case, original Lufton case. Looks brand new. That middle position is so sweet, man. Bubbly. Even though my hands aren't really warm, I'm trying to hold this guitar where you can see it. It makes it kind of hard to play. Down to the bridge pickup, pure rock and roll. I got a little change in my pocket. Anyway, I'm going to set it down here normal for a second so you can hear it. pickups sound just amazing. The only person I've seen that can get the pickups right like this is Ron Ellis. Does a P90 that's just... And if you want to pay him a lot of extra... Whoops. Hey, where are you going? If you want to... If you want to pay him a lot of extra money, he has some vintage wire and stuff. And vintage magnets. I'm not going to play this one super dirty today because it's not what it was meant for. It rings, though. Doesn't it ring lovely? Yeah, that's right. Hard Rock and Steel says amazing tone. I agree. That's just cool vintage Gibson sound, I think. Yeah, Spruce Creek, it's a little rude. I mean, the amp is not set super clean. It's clean, but, you know, damn clean. The great thing about these old P90s is they're kind of rude. They're a little raunchy. They're a little snarly. And, very fine. So let me tell you the story about this guitar. We got enough people here to get going. The middle position is great, Spruce Creek. It's that Freddie King kind of Chuck Berry thing. That's really cool. I mean, you can literally just go, you know. Whoops. Anyway, you get the idea. I'm sure I just took it out of tune. These tuners are, yeah, there it goes. They're 71 years old. I like the middle position when you take it and just roll the neck pickup back just a hair. It's very, that kind of thing. Or you can go twangy with it. How touch sensitive that is. When you dig in a little bit, it just jumps. 1955, that was the vocabulary everybody wanted, you know. Let me I got a little echo and verb on here just to make it sound like I'm in a room because I'm playing an IR, but let's go dry. Hey, come on. And you get the idea. Machu wanna frit? I don't know what that means, Bob. It's nice to see you. It's Bob Dragich, everybody, from Vintage Guitar Magazine and Guitar Player Magazine. That's right, James Bond. It's a good twang song. Yeah, that's it. They should probably shade dry and keep it kind of clinical. But look at the headstock. I mean, like the silk screen, the logo, everything's just crisp, clean. Like it's really good. The frets have no divots in them. I mean, literally, it's like a brand new guitar that's 71 years old. So let me tell you the story of the guitar as I know it. And Michael DeTemple is the owner of this guitar, so he might jump on and correct me. If I make any mistakes, Michael, I apologize. But from what I understand, a gentleman bought this guitar brand new for his son in 1955. And it came with a matching little Les Paul amp. They're really just practice amps, you know, they weren't big amps. But they sound great. I mean, and microphones love them. It's akin to like a Champ kind of thing, only with a bigger circuit on it. Like a deluxe front end, only with a Champ size amp. They're really cool. You know, GA5 is kind of the equivalent. If you ever played a Gibson GA5, it's a really great amp. But anyway, the kid did not play the guitar. So little that after a couple of months, the dad put the guitar and the amp up in the attic. This is literally an attic find. Put it up in the attic and forgot about it. Decades later, when the house was getting sold by his descendants, they discovered a guitar and an amp in the attic that looked brand new. Michael bought it at that point. And he's been sitting on it for a long time. I don't know how long he's been the owner of this guitar, but it's been a long time. And if you guys know Michael DeTemple, he takes extraordinary good care of his guitars. You know, like crazy good. I have some pictures I can share of it. I don't know if I can do that here on darn it, on StreamYard. I can't just throw pictures up on the screen, unfortunately. Man, that's just right on P90 sound. It's got that, there's a bell tone in the upper mid-range that's really there, and it's strong. And it's got that snarl of a really good P90. It just, I don't know if I can use the right adjectives. I don't know if it's coming through on the internet either. It's coming through really well on these headphones, but there's this strong, swollen bell tone in the mid-range that's so emblematic of really great P90s. I would imagine, since this guitar hasn't been out, you know, for decades, it sat covered up in the dark, that there's not a lot of bacteria and corrosion or anything on these pickups. Probably look brand new if you took them apart. And so this is a very good example of what this guitar probably sounded like brand new. But you hear that sort of just a little bit of to it. You know, there's a little bit of edge to it, a little bit of aggression. Oh, how much does Mike want for it? I'll talk about that offline. He wants pretty much top of the market for it. And this is for the guitar, the original Lufton case, which is perfect, and the matching amplifier, which also looks perfect. So the range on the guitar, when I looked up, I get appraisals online. I talked to a couple of collector guys. The range on the whole kit and caboodle is about $28,000 to $35,000. But if you're serious, or you know someone who is serious, I will connect you with Michael. I'm not going to negotiate on his. It's his guitar. I'm just here helping out a friend. Michael's a very good friend of mine. So he's kind of in the lower middle of that range, I think, is what he's looking at. But honestly, message me, leave a note on the fans page, whatever you want, I will connect you with Michael. And you can talk about it. He's consulted a few vintage guys and gotten rough appraisals on it. Feels very good about his number. And it's mainly because of the condition. This is a #1 crazy rare condition. If it was just a 71-year-old special that had been played and weathered and a survivor, it'd be worth $22,000. but not in this condition. This is unheard of. I've been around vintage guitars. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. I've been around vintage guitars for 40 plus years, and I really love juniors. I've never seen anything like this. Bob Dragage says definitely worth it. I agree. I think he's right in line, with a good fair price. Now I've talked to a few, buyers who are like, oh no, I'll give you 20 grand for it right now. Yeah, sure you will. But anyway, let you have another look at it. Honestly, and this paint hasn't been touched up. This is the original paint. The only thing you notice is different is Michael put his own wraparound on it, but he has the original wraparound. This is a compensated wraparound because when this guitar was made, G strings were wound. They weren't plain strings. So when you use the old wraparound, a modern set of strings doesn't intonate correctly. But I'll get you as close up as I can get. There's no checking on the finish. You can almost still see like orange peel on it, like it's that fresh. It is. This is beyond mint. This is mint plus. I'm very nervous playing. Even look at the screws on the cavities. They look brand new. But this is the back. There's no wear on the back of the guitar. This is a 71-year-old guitar. Show you the neck joint. Flawless. Perfect, right? There is one little mark, and Michael wanted me to point it out. See that little mark up there above the serial number? That's the only mark on the guitar. So instead of it being 100% condition, it's 99.5%. That's right, Bob. It is a titanium bridge. That's right. Michael loves titanium. So, there's nothing. See if I can get you on the fingerboard. You can see the frets. There's no divots in them. I literally have seen guitars hanging in stores that have more wear than this on it. When Peter and I used to manage Rhythm City in Atlanta, man, that's just got that thing. We used to manage a guitar store in Atlanta called Rhythm City that became Guitar Center. Guitar Center bought them years after we worked there. And you had guitars that hung around a lot that people liked to play. And they had wear on them. More wear than this guitar has. Like we'd get guitars with a little bang on the headstock like that all the time. We go, hey man, I gave you $50 off, that kind of thing. And like I say, the Lufton case looks perfect. I can get you I posted some pictures on my page last night. If you go look, you can see. And there's pictures of the amp, which also looks brand new. Brand freaking new. So you've heard of the proverbial like attic fine, closet classic, whatever. This is it. I've never seen one like this in person in my life. I've heard a lot of stories about it. Anyway, it's quite a find. I'm trying to help my friend Michael out. We all need cash in our lives once in a while. And this guitar he bought as an investment. So now he'd like to cash in the investment. So this is a pretty expensive buy, but you do get the full set, right? The guitar, the case, the amp. All the original hardware. He changed the wraparound on it. Is that what you're talking about, Bob? It rings forever. Yeah, that titanium tailpiece makes a big difference. I don't know if you can hear it. It's still ringing loudly in my ears. This is a common sense modern upgrade. Yeah, I see, Bob. Yeah, it's still ringing. I don't know if you can hear it or not. I can still hear it in my earphones. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. Those of you listening on studio monitors can probably still hear it. Still ringing. If I were to buy this guitar to play, I would, of course, change the tuners. only because technology has improved so much in 71 years. And I would keep these tuners dead stock. So if you wanted to put it back together and sell it to a collector. For functionality, the tailpiece is just a common sense upgrade. The original one, like I said, was made for strings that were a wound G string. Yeah, let's tune her up real quick. This is what I mean. They're old tuners. And I don't think they were particularly good when they were new. My 63's tuners were, I don't know how to say it in English. In German, they say Scheiße. I don't know how that translates into English. That was just technology. That's the best they had in 1955. And this was not an expensive guitar. This was a student guitar in 1955. This was the economy version of the Les Paul, not a high-end guitar, which is why a real Les Paul from this era goes for, $300,000 instead of $30,000. Bob Dragage correctly points out, and I agree wholeheartedly, locking 3 on a strip tuners are available that will drop right in, and they're less than $100. And a guitar will stay in tune perfectly. Haas Thompson asks, do you think the G goes out on Gibsons even with a wound G, or not using a wound G is a problem? That's a good question. I mean, I always thought, the G in Gibson is for G string. That is the fatal flaw of Gibson guitars. The G string doesn't stay in tune very well. I also play with a really thick pick, and I have a heavy right hand. I think that contributes. Man, that's just good. Let's go in middle position. Gonna roll the neck pickup back just a hair, which is my favorite thing to do. Here I go a little bit there. Neck position. Very jazzy. Back to the bridge. I'm not going to drop this down into open G just because it'll cause chaos on the tuners, but you can get the sound, right? Yeah, I don't know if you want to put a capo on this. I'm not going to do it. The break angle, yeah. So if you have the money, it's a really good investment. I think it's going to go up in value quite a bit over the next 5 to 10 years because there's just so few of these around, but maybe 1/10 of 1% of them are in this kind of shape. I mean, literally, I've been geeking out on vintage guitars since 1980-ish, 46 years. When I first got into playing guitar, I was looking at old guitars then, and this guitar wasn't that old in 1980, right? It was 25 years old, which would be like you buying a guitar from 2001, right? But that's all there was. Even then, the guys at the music store where I hung out, Yeah, Bob, that's a good point you make. Bob says, to me, a 1958 Les Paul is not going to sound that good. There's no snarl. I agree. These guitars have attitude. And surprisingly, that's why they did not sell back then. They had too much attitude. But anyway, I used to hang out at a music store when I first started playing guitar in Columbia, Missouri called Music Village. And the guys that hung out there were all gigging musicians who were probably stoned and hung over every time I went there. I didn't know because I was 12, right? But they were always talking about 50s Gibsons and 50s Fenders as being amazing. If you can find, and back then they were really expensive. Like this guitar would have been $500 used. Rob Price says, I have one of those double cut specials from the early 2000s with the faded finish, and that guitar actually stayed in tune better than the SGs and Les Pauls or Grovers versus the specials, vintage style tuners. I was surprised. Yeah, I mean, they make tuners that look exactly like this now, only they work. the machining's way better and the components are way better. I think for the most part, this is just really soft, cheap steel it was made out of. So if you make it with modern, tolerances and really high quality steel, you get something that looks exactly the same, can't tell the difference, only it works. So that chord progression I always play to test pickups, right? Dang, that sounds good. Those low strings are killing me too. Tom Jones, so underrated as a riff master. That's right. The DeLeo boys did write some great progressions. That's right. Dean DeLeo. What's his brother's name? I'm blanking. His brother's the bass player who actually wrote all this stuff. Bob Dragich reminds us that it was a price point guitar when it was made. That's right. They were building to a number. So if the tuners actually work when you were in the process of tuning it, that was good enough. Yeah, I mean, I understood juniors and specials to sort of be Robert. Thank you, Phil. Thank you. I blanked. Robert DeLeo, who is the bass player in Stone Temple Pilots, but actually wrote all these songs. He's a classical guitar player. But anyway, there's a great Rick Beato episode with him where he has a nylon string classical guitar and plays the hell out of it. But he also shows you how all these songs were written. It also talks about our friend Brendan O'Brien, about how he put his fingerprint on it and turned it into what they do, right? Really fun episode. Anyway, yeah, these guitars were student guitars. They were beginner guitars. They were learner guitars. They were the economical working man's guitar. They were not... Sorry, I get distracted. It's really fun. It feels great. The neck is fantastic too, by the way. Like it really plays great. Late to the class, damn it. Hey, Phil. 1955 Junior, 99.5% NOS Closet Classic Attic Fine guitar. This guitar is 71 years old. No visible signs of wear or playing anywhere. I've never seen an old guitar look this good. This finish is untouched, original finish from 1955. You can see my light reflecting there in it, right? That's from the bottom of one of my lamps up here. You can see the lamp shade around it. Here's one of my LED lights. But you can see it still has the sort of orange peel like brand new nitro does. See a little wood grain in there. Neck joint is flawless. Phil Hadaway said, does the neck angle feel weird to you versus a 58 or 59? No, not really. It's a little flatter. That would be the only comment I have on it. Doesn't have much radius on it. And I think it's because it was cheaper to make like that. Bob Dragich says they were learner guitars, and one of the first things it taught you was you needed new tuners. Yeah. I mean, no offense, Gibson, but the tuners were bad back then. And old growth Honduras mahogany on a student guitar, wild. This might even be, yeah, it could be. I think you're right. I mean, that was just standard wood back then. I'm not speaking out of turn here when we talk about Gibsons don't stay in tune on the G string. Let's put a little more heat on it so you can hear. Oh, let me tune her up again. Come on, old girl. Let's see what you do. Man, there's some attitude in this guitar for sure. Yeah. All that. All that stuff. And then, of course, the obvious P90 one is going to be... Head out on the highway. It's a long way. Yeah. This is an amp with 6 L6s, so it's not going to be right on. Gosh, that's funny. Anyone who owns or has even looked at a Gibson wrong knows that the G is tuned to magnetic north. That's right. How's it go? That, you got it, right? Dang, this guitar. I wish I had a better camera angle where you could see it. Let me just scoot back for a little while. Yeah, it does the faces thing, doesn't it, Hoss? Amp doesn't suck either. Yeah. But you can even go up into, you know. I'm really in an awkward position here trying to play guitar, sorry. There's my leg, you don't want that. That's not good. I have shorts on, trust me. That was the Faces with Rod Stewart. Small Faces was, what's his face? Little bitty guy singing. Why am I blanking on his name? I knew the guy in Atlanta. And I know his son, too. Steve Marriott, thank you, Phil. Thank you for being my memory today, Phil. I'm a little tired. Man, that's just, that's like get out of my way. I mean, if I were to dare to put on like Klon pedal. It's a whole lot of guitar. But I kind of like it down here in the lower gain. Since you left me, I'm all alone. Now you're coming on home. Mixing my Beatles. Right on, Spruce Creek, you got it. Vocabulary, man. You like the Klon on there? Let's see, I'm on the low gain setting with the Klon. Let's do that. When I did the high gain setting with the Klon, it's out of control. In a good way. This is the low gain setting with the Klon on. Oh, I know what that sounds like. One way or another, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you. Anyway, you get the idea. What were we playing last week? The Motown, right? Back to just the guitar. And then just a little bump on the clean channel. Also can do the hands are cold, man. Yeah, I'm fading. I had one of those nights last night, no sleep. If I told you the story why, you'd die laughing. I'm just going to say, an old cat at the end of his life. Could have met Rod Stewart. That's cool. All right. That's right, Hoss. I'm just trying to show some vocabulary in the guitar. So I said the word drinking game. Boop, boop. I used to say it so much on the old show, apparently. There were some guys in Norway. 4 hours each way. It's a lot to me and an old dude, for sure. They did a drinking game every time I said vocabulary. They have this drink in Norway they drink called aquavit, which is Norwegian tequila. But I think it comes from Portugal or something. I don't know what it is. Yeah, there's some good chainsaw in there for sure. It's a really great guitar. But it's really an investment. I don't know that I would buy this guitar to sit around and play guitar unless you're one of those wealthy guys who can sit around and do that. I think it's just a good investment. Put it in the case, pull it out every few months, play it for a half hour, put it back. But that's acoustically, it rings, man. How's it clean up on the volume? Pretty good. This is on 7. Whoops. This is 8. I can turn the amp down. Oh, I'm on the gainy part of the amp. Let's go to the cleany. Even just all the way up. If I just back off with my right hand. I always fall back on those 80s songs. Like I played in a cover band in the early 80s, and so I have all these songs in muscle memory, right? Yeah, I mean, any Gibson with this setup is kind of a Swiss Army knife for sure. I mean, I grew up playing Gibsons. I didn't really ever have a Fender guitar until I was out of high school. Yeah, it's a good chimey Jenny, isn't it? That's a great reference song. I mean, it's a silly song, 867-5309, Jenny, Jenny, who can I turn to? But the guitar work is great. And that's a telly on the record, I know for sure. I met that guy in the 90s, Tommy Two-Tone, whose real name is like, you know, Tommy Lipschitz or something. But he was an IT guy up in San Francisco. And I was working IT, corporate IT for the Disney company in the 90s. And I went to a convention or a seminar or a class or something up in San Francisco, and he was right there. Super nice guy. Pretty good. Pretty good. Let's have another look at it. So I know there's going to be a lot of people watching this recording. I'll give you every possible angle I can. There is not a mark on this guitar. It looks like a brand new guitar. That's funny. Everything looks brand new. Gave you up on the headstock. Even the silk screen there, Les Paul special. Looks brand new. Truss rod cover. Tuners. Everything. You can look up that serial number, 511732. 511732. It'll show you right when it was made. I like the little clon on the clean side here. Anyway, by the time I put this up, I'm getting nervous playing it. Any questions? Anything you want me to hold up to the camera? And I find like you dream about. I find like you dream about. That's right. This really is. Honestly, I've really been into guitars, since I was 12 years old, which was 48 years ago. And I've never seen anything like this. I didn't know such a thing could exist. It's a 71-year-old guitar, and it's a museum piece. Honestly, if you can afford this guitar, I would not do much with it. Like, I washed my hands thoroughly before I played it. I covered up the buckle on my belt. I would be very careful. It's an investment. Unless you just have that kind of money. You can still see the shine on the nitro. Because it never saw sunlight. Nitro turns yellow in the sunlight, right? And it loses its luster. This guitar sat in the case in a dark attic, I think, for somewhere around 45 to 50 years. Michael bought it, and he's done the same thing with it. He keeps it in his office in the dark in a case. That's it. I mean, honestly, if you went over to Guitar Center now and looked at reissues, they'd have more wear than this from people just trying it out. Hoss Thompson brings up a good point. Gibson themselves would be interested for their museum. I don't know that they'd pay much for it. I don't want to say rude words, but, they're businessmen. Like, yeah, we can just make one. Or they probably have some. But, yeah, I don't think they're going to pay full market price. Once again, it comes with the original case, which is in fantastic shape, and the original matching amp. It is a Les Paul amp. Little tiny one, and it sounds killer. Like sitting around here playing in the house, it is a little rock and roll machine. It is so cool. But any questions or thoughts or anything else you want to talk about? I really had fun with this today. You notice he's got different strap buttons on here for a locking strap. He has the original strap buttons. He has all the original everything. I don't know if he has like the case candy or sales receipt or any of that stuff. I'll find out. But I wanted to get this on record because I posted last night, and I've had about 4 collectors get a hold of me. And I've been trying to do some online appraisal just with AI. Everyone, human and non-human, seem to agree that the whole package in the condition that it's in is worth about $28,000 to $35,000. Michael's on the lower end of that. Very fair price. If you know anybody that you should alert to this. It would be really great. If you guys don't know Michael, he's the best guy, and he's been taking care of my guitars and everything for over 20 years. And he's a real gentleman. He's a real sweet guy. So if you want to help out somebody good, this is a way to do it. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to put it back in the case because I'm really getting kind of nervous that something's going to happen. Hold on a second, and then we'll talk for a minute. Okay, here I am back. Now I can speak to you clearly. You can see my whole head. I had the camera kind of tilted down for the guitar. Gibson, however, could throw in a cool custom shop guitar plus cash. Michael's at a place in life where he doesn't need any more guitars, I think. Hey, kiddo.
Bye, Papa.
Bye, Bunny. Love you. It's my youngest daughter. She's my little sweetie. Anyway, he doesn't need any more guitars. That's a great idea. He's the point now of starting to liquidate. He has a lot of guitars, a lot of vintage guitars. He's made some very smart buys over the decades. This was one of them. I don't think he paid that much for this guitar. That's how long ago it was. At the time, it was a lot of money. By today's standards, it's not. But I think he's asking a very fair price. And I already got a couple funny lowball offers, but that's okay. That's how you make money. If you're, buying and selling vintage guitars, you try to buy them as cheap as you can and convince people that low number makes sense. But anyway, got a nice crowd here. I see over on YouTube also, there's a lot of people over there. So we're on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. Son of a gun. Wish I could just put a picture up here. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be kind of obvious? Let's see. Oh, hey man, image file. Hold on. Let's see if I can do this. Hold on, let's see. Man puts foot in mouth on camera. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's the original case and the little amp. Let's do this. See if I can put it up here. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. See the alligator skin case, alligator skin chipboard case, and the little Gibson amp. Thanks, Mark. I'm glad you made it out. Very cool. Talk soon, buddy. As I recall, Ernie Ball used to pay Michael in old guitars when he worked as a teenager. Oh, really? Yeah, at his shop on Ventura Boulevard. Michael started working there, I think, when he was 13, 14 years old. Something like that. Let me put some other pictures up here. I didn't know I could do this. I just figured it out. So there you go. There's the guitar, and there's the little Gibson amp, 1955. But check out the alligator skin Lufton case. That's really cool. Let me get some more up here. I got a few more pictures. I love Apple's iCloud. There you go. You can see the back of the amp now. There you go. Les Paul amp. See it right up there under the light? It says Les Paul. Look how good a shape that case is in. I mean, it all looks brand new. This just sat there. Let me get some other pictures up here. I don't know why I didn't know I could do this before. But there's another one. We'll get that up there also. There you go. You can really zoom in on this and see. Michael repaired Roy Rogers' acoustic guitar after a horse stepped on it. Yeah, the stories this man has, Michael's 78, I think, 77, 76 maybe. The stories he had are just amazing. Every big rock star you've ever heard of, he knew the guy. He worked with him. He did work for him or whatever. It's just crazy. Let me get the last of these pictures up here, and we can cycle through them while we talk. And he talks about it like no big deal. Oh yeah, I knew Eric Clapton. Yeah, that's fine. You know, I worked on that black guitar. You know, that kind of thing. Like, really? There you go. You can see those little marks on the case. There's a little scratch on it, I think, but the rest of it's just shine. You know, just reflection. But how cool is that alligator skin case? And if you look over here, you zoom in, you can see that it has the Gibson logo there on it, like a metal thing. So I don't have that case here with me. I have a modern case here. I'm not going to travel around with that case, but I've seen this amp in person and I've heard it. It sounds crazy good. And it's really fun because it's so dang old. Michael was the guitarist in Rick Danko's band. He also played in Butterfield's blues band. He lived in the Big Pink House in New York with the band and Bob Dylan and all those guys. That's his peer group. He apparently worked with Martin Scorsese a lot doing overdubs on The Last Waltz. He played a lot of parts that got messed up during the show because he lived at the house, so he had all the guitars and amps there. And everybody else was out working and gigging. So Scorsese had Michael come and do the overdubs. So how fun is that, huh? Really cool. Yeah, I said I didn't know they had alligators in Michigan. That was a long time ago. Back in the dinosaur age, before electricity, when we had to watch TV by candlelight. If you know what I mean. Are there any more pictures? I think I got them all. There's the one in the chair that I used for the show. Hold on. It's in a chair over at Michael's house. Yeah, here we go. There you go. That's probably the worst of the pictures. I think this one gives you an idea of what you're getting. Anyway, how fun, huh? I'm glad you guys could share it. I had fun sharing it with you. I might have it again if it doesn't sell. I might bring it back and play it some more. Michael's doing some guitar work for me right now, so I'm actually going to go over there tomorrow. And I'll see. I was kind of hoping he would log on today. I hope he's feeling okay. He's having a couple of things going on in his life right now. Yeah, there's a lot of videos of Michael playing in Rick Danko's band, and there's a lot of pictures of him playing with Butterfield. Not a lot of video of him playing with Butterfield. He's a big, tall guy, big, handsome dude, looks like an NFL linebacker. Still does, at almost, whatever his age is, getting up there. He's aged gracefully. He looks great. And he's the sweetest guy. Bob, I know you've met him, but he's a big, gentle giant. He's the nicest guy, and he is always a gentleman. Surely Joe would be in the market. That's a good idea. I'm actually going to Norman's on Tuesday, and he's there. If he's in town, he hangs out at that store all the time. I'm going to Norman's. I haven't been there since the changeover. He sold the store, but he's there all day, every day now. He's still there. He's just not running the business anymore. He's the ambassador, right? And a good one at that. Yeah, that's a good idea, Haas. That's a great idea, actually. Joe Bonamassa, if you're watching, or if anybody here knows Joe Bonamassa, get him in touch with me. If you or Michael ran a free classified ad in Vintage Guitar magazine, it would sell instantly. Oh, really? Let's talk about that offline, Bob. Yeah, I'd love to. I can take some more pictures of it too, and we can make some demo videos as well. That's a great idea. Thank you, Bob. One more reason to love Bob Dragich. If you guys haven't met Bob, he's also one of the nicest guys in the world. We've been friends ever since I started 65. Bob came up and said, "Hi, I'm Bob Dragich. I'm a music gear reporter." And he's just such a nice guy that we became friends right away, and have been now for decades. When did we first meet, Bob? '04, or was it? Oh, it was '04, I think, at my first NAMM show in, uh, was it Nashville or Austin? But I know we met in '05 at Anaheim. Yeah, that's a great idea, Bob. Are those online ads? Like you can do pictures and media and stuff? Help me out with that. Let's do that. Thank you, sir. I love that. That's very cool. Well, fellas, I am starving. My most prized possession is the Temple 56. Yeah, I had a Temple Telly. Unfortunately, I had to sell during the recession out of necessity, but his guitars are ridiculous. But that's your most prized possession. Yeah, he's crazy. He's so good and he's so detail oriented. And he's been doing it, like you said. I think he started working for Ernie in 1960, is what he told me. So 66 years of working on guitars. And he has such an eye for everything. I learn something from him every time I go over to his shop. If I just keep my mouth shut, which, as you guys know, is hard for me, but if I can keep my mouth shut and just let him talk, I will walk out having learned things every time. And he's happy to teach you. He likes it. You know, if you say, hey, can you show me this? And he'll go, oh, yeah, of course. Let me show you. And he's just proud of his knowledge and his skills, which are amazing. So we're very thrilled to have Michael with us and doing things for us. But anyway, I do got to run. Bob, thanks for that great idea. I appreciate that. Let's talk offline. I got to go eat some food now or I'm going to pass out. All I had was a little bit of oatmeal at about 6:30 this morning. I'm an early riser, if you don't know. I was up at 5:30 running my dogs before the heat. All my border collies, they get about an hour of hurdling in the backyard. Not just throwing the ball. They're hurdling through. I throw the ball through hurdles, and they have to go over hurdles to get the ball. And they love it. And I run them ragged. I almost sound like Trump, and they love it. People are talking. Spruce Creek, thanks. Were you the guy who asked me about the meter I used to set pickups last week? I know, maybe it was the guy in Maine. I can't remember. Or is that you? Am I mixing you guys, two guys up? I thought there was another handle somebody had here about Maine something. I have it right here. I brought it just to show. It's just a little oscilloscope multimeter. I'll show you now just for fun, and I'll have it here next week. Anyway, this little guy. And I have clip leads. And you take a cable and unscrew the thing and put it on the ground in the positive, and you can read it here on the screen. And then it has a hold function. So I hit a note, bang, hold it. I adjust the pull piece until they're all level. And then from there, you tweak it by ear, of course. That is you. Okay, yeah, cool. It's a cheap one. I got it off of Amazon. Miles Rose taught me this trick. Let me turn it on here. You can get a look at it. It's just an oscilloscope. And I'll show you the box. Where'd it go? Here it is. I brought it out just for you. This is it. If you want to message me, I'll send you the link to it off of Amazon. It's like $90. They have cheaper ones. They're smaller. But if you can see, it works really well. And you literally just clip lead this onto a guitar cable. Play each string, adjust the pole piece, and it has a hold function here, so it'll give you the maximum voltage, the average voltage, and and the trigger and all that stuff, and then you just match them, and then your guitar's really balanced at that point. But it's very subjective. What works for me won't work for you. So it's something you could offer to your customers. Come on, turn off. You could customize a guitar for them. But this model, let me put my reading glasses on here. Hold on. This is a FNIRST is the name of the company. 2C23T. 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 For some reason now it's not turning off. What's happening here? Usually it just turns right off. What am I doing wrong? There we go. Anyway, it's also a signal generator, so you can bias amp with it if you want to do it that way, with a signal generator. Or just a multimeter if you want to bias amps, just measuring voltage. I like to try both. Anyway, I'm going to run. Great talking to you guys. The guitar was really cool, huh? I'm almost kind of like nervous, shaking. It was so much fun. You too, Haas. All the best, buddy. And I'll see you next week. I'm heading back down to Bad Cat next week, so I'll hopefully have a good update for you. Anyway, I love you guys. Thanks for making time for me. And always a pleasure to see you, and always a pleasure to interact. Thanks for the great questions and comments. Come loaded next week with more. And I'll see you soon. All right. Take care, guys. Love you, mean it.